Just a few years ago, LSU was winning a national championship, and after the game, Odell Beckham Jr. gave Joe Burrow, as Burrow said, real money. Now, Joe Burrow would like the Bengals to maybe give some real money to Odell Beckham Jr. How about this? Joe Burrow, Instagram, my spidey sense is starting to tingle a little bit. A little bit. OBJ, the one. Hey, last year, the longer OBJ lingered on the market, the more we started to say, and we were saying it before anybody, I'm not pounding ourselves on the backs, we were saying it before anybody, if he lingers long enough, the Rams are going to make a run at him. Not the Rams, they can't afford him. Okay,
yeah, you did. That was all you, Mike. You were the one that said start first.
Now, it's our show, it's we. And now, the longer the Rams let him linger, the longer the Rams play this, somebody else is going to show up. We've talked about the possibility of the Bucs, the Vikings. We were talking about the Packers yesterday when Miles Simmons, who got up at pre-4 a.m. his time to do the show. So thanks again to Miles for doing that. But we didn't talk about the Bengals.
Yeah.
It feels a little crowded there on that offense for the Bengals, but hey, the more the merrier.
The more the merrier, and Is it that much more crowded than it was when they signed him with the Rams last year? Fortunately for OBJ, unfortunately for Robert Woods, he got hurt, and then it really made sense. But, maybe a hair more crowded. But again, Mike, we discussed this last week, and I think this is the type of situation, to me, that's perfect for Odell Beckham Jr. We signed you to a team, and hey, we're the Bengals. We don't need you right now. Take your time, get healthy. Hey, help our two young receivers out too, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, because everywhere you go, receivers literally eat out of your hands like little baby birds, and you can mentor them that way. And then, hey, when your time to go, we'll work you in slowly. And again, more than likely, one of these guys might get banged up, miss a few weeks here and there, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I don't think it's shocking. And from a guy like Zach Taylor, who, yes, was with the Rams and Sean McVay, maybe they're going to change their approach there in Cincinnati a little bit. It'd be interesting to see.
If you're Odell Beckham Jr., and the last two times you've played the Bengals, you've torn an ACL.
That's a very good point.
Right?
You're right. You can't
go
there.
Last team.
You're right.
That'd be the last team to play for. Although, if you play for the Bengals, the chances of tearing your ACL the next time you play against the Bengals go to zero.
You're right. Yeah. You're right. So maybe that you could go either way there. I don't know, but it makes sense at least from everything else we talked about. That might scare me a little bit though. You're right. I don't know if it's good luck or bad luck to be on the Bengals if you're OBJ.
Yesterday, Rams COO Kevin Demoff said he's optimistic about Odell Beckham Jr. returning to the Rams, and anyone in St. Louis would react to that by saying, anything that guy says is a lie, so the opposite must be true, because Demoff was at the heart of the lies that were told, and lies were told to the folks in St. Louis to get them to keep buying tickets and merchandise and believing the team was going to be there once they bought land in Southern California to build that swanky new stadium. So Demoff is optimistic. McVay is perpetually glass half full. Players on the Rams want him back. Cooper Kupp keeps talking about it.
Yeah, they do.
At some point, you just have to do it. Stafford's been paid.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald's been paid. Kupp's been paid. I know OBJ's still rehabbing that torn ACL, but all it takes is one of the other 31 teams to say, it's fine with us if we are paying you exclusively to get yourself healthy. We'll get you on the field when you're ready to go. We'll pass you on a physical for our purposes. We'll pay you your signing bonus. We welcome you in. We show you the love. We want you to be here. We support you fully as you continue to come back from this horrific and unfair and fluke injury that you suffered when you were on your way to being the Super Bowl 56 MVP. The Bengals saw it. It makes sense for the Bengals to be interested. They saw what he was doing in the most important game of the year, the best offensive player on the field for the Rams before his ACL tour. So it really doesn't surprise me that the Bengals would be interested. Beyond the OBJ, Joe Burrow, LSU connection,
right,
the Bengals should be saying, yeah, look, hey, we had a game plan, and this guy this guy was screwing it all up.
No doubt. Yeah, he still has those special capabilities. I don't think there's any doubt. And, yeah, it's two ACL tears. It's a little scary, but he's at an age still where I don't think it's going to be – a career ender or anything like that as far as talking about that. So he's a hard worker. He does all the things he needs to rehab-wise. So that's where it makes sense. But I do feel like with the Rams, I know they are maybe a little overly positive, but when they start to all talk, I feel like it usually happens. They know. I think we've been in some other off seasons where, again, there wasn't, hey, Todd, we don't know what's going to happen with Todd Gurley. They kind of were like, we didn't hear anything. I feel like when you don't hear anything, they probably don't want you back. When they talk and do all this, and then like you talked about, everybody's making comments about they want OBJ back, Stafford, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, everybody, to where it just seems like it makes too much sense, and I just think it's inevitable when it's all said and done.
Look, I think the Rams better wake up and get this done, because I think somebody else, there's too many other teams out there that recognize what he can do. Somebody else is going to do it. So your assignment yesterday entailed a trip to Cincinnati to hang out with Joe Burrow. Interview coming next week on Chris Sims Unbuttoned. Everybody check that out. I know I will. What was your big takeaway from hanging out with Joe Burrow?
Oh, well, first off, it's hot as hell there. Let me just say that. This is what I'm sitting out there. You just saw me rubbing my forehead. I'm sweaty as hell and sweating through my shirt. The guy doesn't have like one drop coming off him. So Joe Cool was like really cool.
Yeah, don't wear black in the summertime, Johnny Cash.
Well, I know.
What's with all the black?
Well,
you look like you're going to a funeral.
I was afraid if I wore a lighter color, I would have like sweat and armpit stains everywhere. So I figured like the black might help out. But he was awesome to talk to. You could tell he's so into every little nuance in the football game and has this unique way. It's really hard to describe. Like it's a cocky humbleness. Does that make sense? I've talked to him on the phone 6-7 times, and he just says what he believes. Right.
And there's no edge to it.
Exactly.
There's no jerk to it.
Exactly.
He just says it. That's his truth. It's his truth, and he speaks it.
Exactly right. He's not looking to frame a story or an image or anything that way. And he's just very easy to talk to. And like you said, it's honest, it's open. Don't feel like there's any agendas there. And he's not looking for attention or anything like that. But at the same time, when he walks in the room, he's Joe Burrow, and he's the coolest guy in the room. And you could tell that just walking around the facility yesterday, for sure. Again, I saw Mr. Brown. He walking around the field. He saw Joe Burrow. They went over, have a conversation for a few minutes. He's changed that organization. He's got a special way about him, like we've seen some of these young star quarterbacks do, where he's gone there.
He's trying to get him not to associate with you. What are you doing? What are you doing, that pothead?
You sure you want to talk to him? Yeah, be careful.
He's going to give you a different kind of cigar, Joe. I know you like a good cigar, but you don't want that one. Yeah. Can we show the picture again? I'm curious about something.
Oh my gosh, I'm sweating.
I'm curious about multiple things.
Yeah.
Seriously. First of all, are you on your tiptoes?
No, not at all.
Okay.
You know me.
Well, you don't have to do that because you are a giant.
Exactly.
Second of all, it's kind of like a before-after. It's almost like a father-son picture. I don't know. He looks really young. You look like you just finished the spleen game. Like we need Jake Delhomme to walk into this frame and say, "You don't look so good."
Yeah,
the Heat kicked your ass yesterday.
It kicked my ass. It really did. And we were out there for a while, so it started to really pour out of me. At the end of the conversation where I could not control it. But Mike,
It was hot. It was hot in this area because we're not that far away.
Hot and
humid.
humid.
It was hot.
Yes.
Really hot yesterday.
Oh my gosh, it was. I was not ready for it. And we haven't had hot days like that up in the Northeast yet, so I was like not conditioned to it. But again, I'm not trying to. I came home to your point a little bit, and I went, I don't know. The guy reminds me of myself in a lot of ways. He's not as jerky, and he's more professional and buttoned up than I was at that age, for sure. But again, quarterbacks, I don't think we all fall not too far from the tree, but man, I really enjoyed it. And he really got into some nuance with me about his mechanics and his thought process and some of the trials and tribulations of his life and his career that were really cool. So hopefully people will enjoy it on the podcast next week.
When he's got a good personality, he's got a natural charm. And I think during your time with the Buccaneers, first of all, John Gruden's personality took over the whole team, sucked all the oxygen out of the room, so it was hard to really get a feel for how you really were and who you really were. And the Buccaneers were kind of in that post-Super Bowl decline. They weren't the flashy team that everyone was paying attention to, and you were in the process of coming into your own when the spleen situation happened. But Burrow's got that look. He benefits from the grown-up Macaulay Culkin
No
from
doubt.
Home Alone.
The
He looks
baby
more
face,
like
right.
Macaulay Culkin as an adult than Macaulay Culkin as an adult looks, and that allows him, that gives him that ability to say whatever he wants because he doesn't. He looks like an overgrown kid. He just does.
He is, and he doesn't shy away from it. He doesn't want attention. He talks about going to. I don't go out to restaurants because I don't want to sit there and have people watching me eat. You know.
Do you see any peas on my plate?
Yeah, he talks about
that.
What I loved about him too, Mike, is he shared he showed that he had a life a little bit. You know, sometimes I feel like you talk about these quarterbacks and they act like I don't do anything but watch film all week long. I do nothing else except sleep and watch film. And they try to portray that image. And he was cool in the fact where he's like, Monday I come in here and watch film and do all that, but then after that's over, I get away from football a little bit. And I play video games. This is how I keep in contact with some of my old friends. We get on video games. I put on the headset. We play for a little while, and I get to talk to them and catch up that way. And to me, I love that honesty too. Just being like, oh yeah, don't forget I am a normal human being here as well. And I think that's why guys on the team love him as well. It's not always robot quarterback. I got to do this and eat a protein shake and go throw footballs. He's willing to hang out and, play video games and listen to some hip hop music and be one of the guys. And that of course goes over great with the team.
So basically you're saying he is not like a 44-year-old cyborg who is the current quarterback of the team he used to play for.
Well, yeah, right. He's got a little more personality to him that way, at least.
But
Brady's got more than people realize.
Although the robot has been reprogrammed
100%.
to pretend to be a live boy. I will say that.
You're funny. He has. He's kind of hilarious on social media right now, Tom Brady, for sure. But, yeah, Burrow's is as cool as they come, and he's changed that organization. And to your point, he's got that Steph Curry, Patrick Mahomes, $1 million smile where you're right. It's hard to really think a bad thought about him. It doesn't seem like they ever have bad thoughts in their brain, and kids just gravitate towards them because they're just like, whoa, looks like he's just a bigger kid to me. So I like this guy playing awesome quarterback football. That's where he's, I think got a magical way about him.
Well, I think it makes it hard for the fans of the teams that compete directly with the Bengals, specifically the other three teams in the AFC North, Steelers, Browns, Ravens, to hate the guy.
Yeah,
you want to hate the quarterback of one of your arch rivals. What do you find about Joe? It's kind of like with Mahomes too, and Josh Allen to a certain extent. What is there to hate about these guys?
Right.
That's one of the sneaky qualities of this new age of quarterback.
Right.
I'll throw Lamar Jackson in there too. What's there to hate?
Justin
where
Herbert.
is that edge where there's something where
he's so annoying when he does that. Yeah. Right. You're right. They don't have that. They don't. Now maybe they will if they continue to win and they're on our TV screen all the time, and we'll find some way to get sick of them. But you're right. They don't have that, that little attitude about them or anything there that makes you turned off by their actions at all.
Before we go to break, I'm thinking of the old Phil Simms workout video. We have, I think, potentially the Chris Simms weight loss approach. Wear all black on a hot day in Cincinnati,
oh my
and
gosh.
you will probably lose 15 pounds.
Oh my gosh, I was crushed. I mean, I then had to run to the airport and catch the flight. Right,
did you get a hamburger?
What's that? No hamburgers yesterday. We played it safe. We didn't touch anything there.
All right.
Oh, there he is. There's Big Phil. He's leading us.
That's Phil, yes. And Peter's
Reggie Jackson.
About him recently, 57,
and
Reggie Williams.
Reggie Williams, right. And you're Todd Christensen. And then I'm just a female, I guess. That's what I've been portrayed as. So.
All right.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.